I can see my family, when I could go on vacation, which was never. They said, this is when you can be, this is the one that got me. They said, Brandon, you're allowed to be sick 5 days this year. Tammy, I said, well, isn't that nice? That's nice. 5 days. I said, what if I'm sick 7 days? They said, no, you get 5. They called them sick days. I said, what the heck is that? They made that up, man. That's crazy. Like I said, they got too much control over my life. I was waking up at dark 30 to go sit in traffic to show up to a building with somebody else's name on it. And I was working harder than they were. They were making more money off my efforts than I was, and I was making them rich. And I said, man, this plan is convoluted somehow. I've been bamboozled. I've been befuddled. I've been hoodwinked. I've been tricked. You know, how did this happen? I woke up out of a bad dream, and I said, man, I got 3 jobs, 3 bosses. And I said, there's got to be a better way. I looked around me and I saw people that were just kind of, like I said in that video, they're going to work and they're going to sleep and they're going to work. How many know people like that? They're in a cycle. They're some people call it the rat race, or they call it a rut. And Doug, I knew that I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. Nothing wrong with that plan. Nothing wrong with that if you're okay with it. But see, I just knew the rules of the game, and see, if you know the rules of the game, you can play and you can win. I want to give you a success principle that I've lived my life by for the last 12 years of my life. As I've studied success, I've studied successful people. You might write this one down. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do. But it's been good grades, get a good what?
Education,
they
job.
Keep their nose clean. They hope to stay with the company for 30, 40 years, retire with a gold watch. Guess what? Is that a pipe dream? Does that happen these days? See, the only thing that's constant in this life is change. The only thing constant is change. And you see your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, the economy that they lived in, that they grew up in, that worked 30 and 40 years ago, didn't it? But see, now it doesn't. See, we live in a different world, different economy, and it's constantly changing. Wayne Gretzky said, I don't go to where the puck is and strike. I show up to where the puck is going to be. Does that make sense? Yeah. See, if you're using old economy ways and old economy thinking in a new, current, present economy, you're already behind. I went to school for business when I started, and who knows why? I don't know. I just said, I don't know. I go to school for business, I guess. I don't know. It sounds good to me. And why did I even go to school in the first place? Because that's what everybody told me to do, right? I thought that's what you're supposed to do. What your parents say to do, society tells you to do. I was groomed literally 14,000 hours. You were too, unless you dropped out early. You were 14,000 hours from grades 1 through 12, conditioned and developed into a what? Employee, a robot, a battery, a worker bee for the greater machine. Does that make sense? You were taught one way to do things, at least I was. They said, go to school, get good grades, get a good what? Job. They never asked me. See, I remember talking to my guidance counselor. He said, Brandon, he said, listen, you're good at this, you're good at math. You need to go be an engineer and work at that place, work for that guy. Does that make sense? He never said, hey, Brandon, what kind of multi-million-dollar global business would you like to own? Okay? He never asked me that. And so the point is no one ever gave me another option for 14